Other interesting cultural news, you have McDonald's and Target stores banning unsupervised teenagers, and a trend we're seeing more and more. Now, this comes to us thanks to Wokeness on X, in which he says, quote, breaking, McDonald's and Target stores in Brooklyn officially ban unsupervised teens. These kids these days, I tell you, I mean, let's be honest, not too surprised. Now, this is also credited to, what is this? CBS Local? No, it's PIX13.com. I've never heard of that news outlet, but apparently they exist. It looks like there's an interview with the local folks.
They make a mess. They make a mess. They're talking about drills and fighting, and I don't approve of that.
There's no disputing the reason why two of the more popular businesses in this Flatbush, Brooklyn neighborhood are banning teens 18 and younger who are not accompanied by an adult. Last month, we told you about the McDonald's on Flatbush Avenue, which did just that during after-school hours, following the lead of the Target store right around the corner, which implemented a similar ban around the clock.
I was assaulted in this Target right here. These children nowadays, they're doing smoking and attacking people. They're, stealing things and going in pockets and cutting pocketbooks.
Yep. Again, the cultural decline of the United States seemed to be accelerating as, well, I think the biggest contributing factor in these instances are shitty and or absent parents. And also not enough, what's a nice way of saying capital punishment or beating the crap out of your kid. A light hand can do a heavy amount of work, so to say. Again, if you let Johnny touch the stove once or the coffee maker once, I promise he won't do it again. Every once in a while, discipline, well, no, I would say all the time, discipline is key to success in life, especially as a developing child. I mean, one of the biggest issues with children these days is they have single parent households, which statistically speaking, they will be more likely to get into trouble and less likely to be successful long term. And definitely doesn't help that the government also incentivizes those things. It's the reason I think the government does more harm than good in many instances, that being one of them. But yeah, I mean, the amount of not just vandalism, but also theft. And again, these companies are losing. Target lost over hundreds of millions of dollars in theft in 2024. They got to do something different. Now, granted, Target has a lot more data in terms of statistically who's doing the most theft in their stores and how they perhaps could mitigate that the most. I would guess the youth is a contributing factor. And it's something where, back in my day, we didn't do this shit. Pardon the French. I mean, back in my day, we didn't steal. Well, we stole intangible things like LimeWire, which is inevitably how you learn about, viruses and reformatting computers. And that's kind of how I got into IT. But when it comes to actual physical stores, I mean, shoot, I'm not the only person where the parents actually taught them to leave a place cleaner than when you first got there. I mean, that used to be the golden rule back in the day. It used to be the standard. And you would never steal anything. I mean, but you have all these places and culturally, some people think it's cool or hip to steal stuff. Some places like California actually incentivize it by saying we basically won't charge you if it's under $950. To the credit of California, now that they deserve much, they did later reverse that law. More accurately, the Peace Bowl reversed that law, so they're trying to crack down on crime there. But yeah, when it comes to unsupervised teens, I mean, there's also the liability concern as well. So I'm not surprised that more places are starting to ban them from their presence. And this one pretty viral got 2.7 million views and 61,000 likes. Now, one of the first comments comes from Thick Shelled Egg, which fascinating. I'm not sure how an egg has the capability to type, but it does in fact have a picture of a chicken egg as a profile picture. And he says, quote, if this is how they act in school, you can only imagine how badly they act out in public without any adult supervision. And here you can see some kids. Was this a lunch? Of course, not a single suit in sight. Men always look better when they suit up. It's never too young to start wearing a suit. That's what I always say. A lot of them wearing sweaters, and stupidly enough, I mean, on top of morality, they're wearing flip-flops and trying to kick someone, which technically, or anyone with a modicum of intelligence would tell you, yeah, that's not going to hurt too bad if it's a flip-flop compared to a nice New Balance shoe. But again, not necessarily, I'm not, advocating you should use New Balances in that way, but you get what I'm saying. So yeah, these went very viral in 2024. We have all these school instances, and where are the parents? Where are the police? I mean, there are still some good folks out there that would stop this. I mean, in this case, I would be an advocate of saying, all right, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got about 10 kids fighting each other, trying to get the tear gas out. Won't kill them. Might actually make them grow as an individual, or maybe they'll learn a lesson, maybe someday. That got 424 likes. We also have Gunther Eagleman, who says, quote, this is when you know it's bad. Would not have to do it if you put people in jail for committing crimes. Getting 1.1 thousand likes. True. That's also because of bad, appointed judges, activists, as well as the fact that these stores sometimes don't prosecute the crime. Which, again, if you want more crime, that's how you get more crime. You allow it to continue to happen, thereby incentivizing the action. Scrolling down more and more. You have Valentina Gomez saying, quote, "Little criminals in the making," getting 415 likes. Littercat Media TM says, quote, "There you have it. They ruined everything for the rest of us," getting 102 likes. Paul Zazupa says, quote, "Will Democrats ever discuss the impact of fatherlessness or not?" Getting 185 likes, which probably not because they advocate for them and I would argue gets more voters, gets more people dependent on the system when you have single parent households that get government incentives while they're going to vote for a bigger government because the government's giving them cash for doing nothing. And they also have, they really have, I mean, statistically speaking, they don't get off the programs enough. It's one of those age-old sayings, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I debate if it was actually ever good intentions at all, but you could argue the intention was to have these temporary programs to assist people in their time of need. For many, though, it's turned into a lifestyle, which is ridiculous. You have someone by the name of Dissident West saying, quote, "Unsupervised teams, I think you know who they're really trying to ban," getting 2.4 thousand likes, which would be anyone under 18. You also have Gage Harrison saying, quote, "Pretty much every business I go to, I see a sign that says no one under 18 supervision allowed. I remember chilling everywhere with my friends when I was a kid. Kids nowadays don't know how to act." Again, 1.1 thousand likes. True. Kids back then also, statistically speaking, didn't steal as much. I know I started a lot, but if you click that subscribe button, it might help. Joshua says, quote, "McDonald's is going full-blown segregationalist. I had Grok depict the situation, and this is what it came up with," which that's also an AI search engine, but in this picture, it does say, pretty distasteful joke. Gotta laugh, though. It says, "No Mc-colored allowed," in this picture of an African-American woman, and it's standing outside McDonald's, getting 172 likes. Chris Langman says, quote, "Good luck. I once worked for New York businesses requiring by law to ban teens and also youths. Youths without ID. These businesses were called bars and nightclubs. First, youths would threaten retaliation in the form of drive-bys in which they would they promised to be spraying, getting 2.8 thousand likes. So he promised to be spraying. You also have Jesus Lives Ether Matters. I might be mispronouncing that, though not on purpose, saying, quote, "This generation of teens have not matured emotionally or mentally. Improper parenting does this. Spare the rod and spoil the child. No discipline does this. Marxist education does this. Spoiled rotten." Getting 70 likes. Fact check true. David Santa Carla says, quote, "You can have unsupervised teens or functional society. You may not have both." Getting 303 likes. You also have Yeti saying, quote, "Raise your kids better and they wouldn't have to do this, but you didn't. So here it is, getting 214 likes. There's a bunch of video compilations of teenagers beating the crap out of each other in public places like restaurants. Or as I believe as the Urban Dictionary would say, or Youth Dictionary would say, act like a fool. So we'll see if this has any negative impact on the business in terms of potentially lost sales, or if it actually helped the business because there'll be less theft, less damage, less possible lawsuits. And again, with all these businesses suffering, because again, these businesses are losing more and more money from shoplifting, as well as property damage, we'll see if this trend actually spreads across the United States or stays isolated to these cities. Let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you can click that button, I really appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.